Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to News Dose. And I don't know if y'all have heard, but Xbox Game Pass is a crazy, unbelievable deal that's only $10 a month to get hundreds of games, including day one releases, or $1 if you're a brand new subscriber. Yeah, this is actually a thing, and well, of course you all probably know that because, well, Xbox Game Pass has been trending over on Twitter, and really this is one of the more amusing stories that I've seen develop over the last year, so I thought we would talk a little bit about that today, and also why Nintendo fans seem to be a little upset with the new Smash Bros. Reveal. Yes, we got a lot of new Smash Bros. Ultimate news today, though not all fans are particularly too happy about this, and I'll explain why that is later on in the video, so make sure to stay tuned for all that. To start things off today, though, I actually have an update on a game that we talked about a week or so ago, and that is Castlevania Advance Collection. Now, the last time we talked about this collection, the Australian classification rated the unannounced Castlevania Advance Collection, and that right there is a pretty good sign that this collection could possibly be heading to current generation platforms. I mean, there's not necessarily a guarantee that this will indeed happen, but oftentimes when you do see a game get rated, an announcement oftentimes does follow sometimes afterwards. I don't really have a specific time frame for that, but the evidence that this game does in fact exist is really starting to mount up, as the Rating and Administration Committee of Korea has now also rated Castlevania Advance Collection for PC. Yeah, this is more than likely happening, and even though consoles weren't specifically mentioned here, I do imagine that this Advanced Collection will be heading to consoles as well. I mean, the Castlevania Anniversary Collection that was released back in 2019, I believe, did release on the Switch, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One, and I imagine they're going to follow that up with this Advanced Collection, and I actually think this will be a better overall collection. Now, the first Anniversary Collection was great in its own right, and it had quite a few games for you to check out if you do like the Castlevania franchise. I mean, it had Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Castlevania 3, Castlevania 4, Castlevania The Adventure, Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania Bloodlines, and then also Kid Dracula. So there was a lot of content there, but I personally think the Game Boy Advance Castlevania games have aged better than most of the games that was in the previous anniversary. Now, the Castlevania Advance games consist of Castlevania Circle of the Moon, which released in 2001. You also have Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, and then Castlevania Area of Sorrow. And just like many other Game Boy Advance games, I think these games aged incredibly well, so I'm really personally very excited for this specific collection. Hopefully we get an official announcement for this here soon. But if you do like Castlevania, it does look like this Castlevania Advance Collection does indeed exist, and it'll probably be announced sooner rather than later. Moving on though, let's talk about a game that I've been keeping an eye on for quite a while now, and that is NieR Reincarnation. Now, I don't typically talk about mobile games on this channel, and well, I don't really typically play that many mobile games, period, but NieR Reincarnation is a special case here because I absolutely love the NieR franchise. Seriously, if you haven't played NieR Automata or NieR Replicant version 1.22, you absolutely need to go do that because they're just amazing games. But here we have NieR Reincarnation, which is a mobile spinoff to the NieR franchise. And we've known about this mobile spinoff for quite a while, but it now officially has a release date for July 28th. Yeah, that's right, you'll be able to play this game in just 1 month from this video, and you know, like I said, I'm personally very excited about that. And even though this is a mobile game, there does seem to be some real talent behind this game. First off though, what is this game actually about? Well, it's being explained as an action RPG with a girl in white who wakes up in a realm called the Cage. This girl is aided by a ghost named Mama, and the two venture into the world trying to regain the girl's memories. So it does follow that trope of an amnesiac protagonist, but you know, oftentimes these games do have fascinating stories, and knowing Yoko Taro, which is the director behind the NieR franchise, I'm sure he can put together a really good story. And in fact, that's actually what I'm really excited about when it comes to NieR Reincarnation. So reportedly, major parts of the mainline NieR team, including the creative director Yoko Taro, composer Kisei Okabe, and producer Yosuke Saito are all working on this particular game. And that right there is what has me most excited. Now, I don't know how this game's going to turn out. It is a mobile game, and it could be severely watered down compared to mainline NieR games, but hey, it's free to play. And if you want to check out NieR Reincarnation, again, it will release on July 28th for mobile devices. Next up, let's talk about Xbox Game Pass, because there's a very good chance that you saw quite a bit of Xbox Game Pass tweets over the last 24 hours. A lot of people are promoting this service all of a sudden, and it was trending online. So what exactly was happening here? I mean, Xbox Game Pass didn't really announce any new games, yet it's trending, so what's happening? Well, this is actually a really amusing story, because apparently somebody was upset that people keep promoting Game Pass like they are apparently quote-unquote getting paid from Microsoft. So this user on Twitter just wants people to kind of shut up about Xbox Game Pass. And instead, that kind of backfired, because again, it was trending over on Twitter for the next 24 hours or so. I mean, I just loved seeing the community get together and really talk about why they love Xbox Game Pass so much, because I mean, I think there's some people out there that genuinely does not understand this. And there's also a lot of console war stuff when it comes to Xbox Game Pass. I mean, you have to wonder if these people who are upset when they hear things about Xbox Game Pass, if they'd be upset if it was for another console. And yeah, probably not. Now, with me being an influencer, and I do talk about Xbox Game Pass on the channel quite a bit, I just want to go and clear something up. I have never once been approached by Xbox ever in any shape or form. They probably don't even know I exist, okay? Let's just go ahead and say that. The reason I talk about Xbox Game Pass is because I genuinely love this service. There's a number of reasons why Xbox Game Pass is a great service, and that includes day one releases. Every Xbox first-party game comes to Xbox Game Pass day one, and it just has a ton of new games that comes into this service month in and month out. And this is not just a bunch of filler like some people will lead you to believe. There's actually a lot of high quality games here, and this has been proven time and time again. There's actually a little chart that people post on Twitter talking about like how each game is rated and yada yada yada. But yes, Xbox Game Pass just has a lot of great games. But the number one thing that I love about Xbox Game Pass myself is that it introduces me to so many games that I probably would not have played otherwise. So here recently, I've been playing a little game, and I've talked about this in the past, but it's called The Wild at Heart. Now, if you go look up this game on Metacritic, it's got like 3 reviews, period. Like, nobody's talking about this game. But it launched day one into Xbox Game Pass, and I've been playing it, and let me just tell you right now, it is an absolutely fantastic game. It's like a mix of Pikmin with Metroidvania-style games, and it just works. And this is what I love about Xbox Game Pass. It introduced me to a brand new game that I might have missed otherwise, and it just does this time and time again. So what do I have to say to the people out there that wants to criticize Xbox Game Pass and act like it's, you know, people are just kind of hyping it up for no apparent reason? Well, first off, you're wrong. Number 2, you need to focus on the things that you like and not worry about what other people like. If you don't like subscription services, well, that's completely fine. You do not have to pay for Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Now, or whatever other subscription service comes out. You don't have to pay for those. You can continue to buy games. And in fact, I buy games all the time. I'm actually a big collector, and I like to collect physical retail boxes. So I completely understand you. But that's the beauty of having options. If you want to go out and buy your games, you can absolutely do that. But without a doubt, Xbox Game Pass is an amazing service that offers a ton of value. It is crazy how good a value Xbox Game Pass is, and this is why fans continuously hype up Xbox Game Pass. I mean, it's not just quantity that Xbox Game Pass offers, but it's also quality. There is a lot of quality games that releases in Xbox Game Pass month in and month out. And this is all while games are increasing in price. I mean, we're starting to see games hit that $70 mark. And I know a lot of people aren't happy about that, but meanwhile, you have Xbox Game Pass, which offers you hundreds of games for $10 a month. That is just crazy, but yet another reason on why people love Xbox Game Pass so much. So again, don't focus on what other people like and get all upset because they like something that you don't. Just simply ignore it and then move on. You have that option. We keep talking about options, but you also have the option of just moving on. People like different things. And again, I loved seeing the community kind of join together this weekend and show that. But I tell you what, post in the comments below on what your favorite thing is about Xbox Game Pass. I know for me, it's all about discovering games that I might have missed otherwise, but let me know in the comments below on what your favorite thing is about Xbox Game Pass. Let's switch gears for a moment though, because even though that was an amusing story and everything, Nintendo dropped some news today for Smash Bros. Ultimate. And there was actually some good news that was revealed here for Smash Ultimate. I mean, if you're excited for Kazuya from Tekken to head over to Smash Bros. Ultimate, well, you'll be able to play as Kazuya tomorrow as he does officially release on June 29th. So that's already really good news there. And you know what? I think that Kazuya is a good fit for the Smash Bros. Ultimate roster. Now, I'm not saying that he would have been my number one choice because, well, I'm not really the biggest fan of Tekken in the world, but at the same time, Smash also has a Street Fighter character as well as a Fatal Fury character, and Tekken being another big Japanese fighting game franchise, I think it's kind of fitting. But that really has been the whole thing with this Fighter Pass. We all knew that there were going to be 6 new characters introduced this season, and so far we got Min Min, we got Steve and Alex from Minecraft, you got Sephiroth from Final Fantasy, Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade, and then Kazuya from Tekken. And with each and every character that's been introduced, there's going to be some people happy, and there's going to be some people that are upset. You just can't make everybody happy, and that's always going to be impossible, of course. But there has been a few characters that has been introduced to the Mii fighters that has really sparked a lot of anger. And we're really seeing that this time in particular with these Mii costumes being introduced. So let's just go and check this out. With the latest update, you'll get 4 new Mii costumes, which includes Shantae, Tales of Symphonia's Lloyd, Skyrim's Dragonborn, which that one's actually pretty cool, and then also Devil May Cry's Dante, and that's the big one right there. I know a lot of people were really hoping that Dante was going to come to Super Smash Bros. It's been widely believed that this was going to happen for a long time, but what this does is that it shatters any kind of hope that Dante will get his own character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and yeah, there's a lot of people upset about that. And okay, like I said before, you can't really make everybody happy, and we are definitely seeing that with these Mii characters. But at the same time, I also understand that there's a lot of work that goes into each individual character. There's no way that Nintendo and Sakurai can put every single character into Smash Brothers that fans want. It just can't happen. So these Mii costumes is a good way of including characters that they just can't put into Smash. So I think it's actually an overall good thing, even though I know some fans will be a little upset with that. With that said, though, there's still one more character that will be coming to Smash Bros. Ultimate that has not been announced yet. And I think this will be a special inclusion, or at least I hope so. I know there's rumors of Master Chief from Halo heading over to Smash Bros. That would be a really cool announcement. Another one that I think would be cool is Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was one of Nintendo's biggest rivals back in the 90s, and that would be a cool introduction for Smash Bros. And yeah, there's quite a few characters that I know fans want, but at the same time, Nintendo has a good way of really surprising people and doing something that you just absolutely wouldn't expect. So we'll see what happens here, but I will be interested to see that final roster spot filled. Let me know in the comments below on who you would like to see for Smash Bros. Ultimate. And this once again does look like this will be the absolute last Smash Ultimate character. It does not appear that they have any other DLC planned after this next fighter, as Sakurai once again says the next DLC fighter for Smash Bros. Ultimate will be the last one. So hopefully, whoever this reveal will be, hopefully it makes fans happy. Next up, we do have one last topic to talk about, and I'll try to make this one real brief, but apparently we're going to be getting a brand new Mana game for consoles. Now, the Mana franchise is one of the most beloved JRPGs that dates all the way back to 1991. The Secret of Mana is often listed as one of the greatest JRPGs of all time, and it's interesting because we haven't really gotten a new Mana game, or at least a new mainline Mana game, for quite some time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the last main entry in the series was Heroes of Mana that released for the Nintendo DS, which was a 2007 release. So again, even though we've gotten quite a few re-releases such as the Trials of Mana, Secret of Mana, and then there's the Collection of Mana, we haven't gotten a brand new release in a long time, and it looks like that's finally going to come to an end. This was revealed by the franchise producer during a live stream celebrating the Mana series 30th anniversary. And he went on to say that they wanted to announce a brand new game by running a cool trailer, but unfortunately that did not happen. However, he did say that they are in fact developing a new title, but we're going to have to wait a little longer until we get a proper announcement. So there you have it. If you do like the Mana series, we will get a brand new Mana game, and right now we're just kind of waiting for that full official reveal. Onto the poll of the day, though. It's starting to become very clear that there's a lot of hype for Metroid Dread, and you know what? I am absolutely loving it. I too am very excited about Metroid Dread, and I mean, it's been nearly 2 decades since we've gotten a full, completely new 2D Metroid game, and Dread is looking really good so far. And that's where things get really interesting because, yeah, there's been a lot of hype since that Metroid Dread reveal. And typically, the Metroid franchise has not really been a big selling franchise for Nintendo. I mean, yeah, they're very high quality games, but they don't typically sell a lot of units, and I think we might be seeing a shift here with all this hype for Metroid Dread, and that's why I asked you all, do you think Metroid Dread will end up being the best-selling Metroid game of all time? And 50% of you did say that yes, Metroid Dread will end up being the best-selling Metroid game of all time, though quite a few in the comments did note that that doesn't necessarily mean it will be the best Metroid game. And okay, I actually completely agree with both of those statements. Yes, I do think that Metroid Dread will end up being the best-selling Metroid game of all time because, well, it's that Switch effect. We've seen time and time again with these first-party new Nintendo games that releases for the Switch, they end up selling better than past entries, and I think that's going to be no different with Metroid Dread. Now, I don't know how much better it will sell, but yes, I do think that Metroid Dread will end up being the best-selling Metroid game, or at least until Metroid Prime 4 releases. It'll be very interesting to see how Metroid Prime 4 stacks up when that game does eventually release for the Switch, but I'll tell you this right now, I'm very excited as a Metroid fan because this is an amazing franchise, and if these games do sell really well, it could really ensure that we get more Metroid games like this in the future. And I've always said this, but I do believe that we need both Metroid Prime as well as these 2D Metroid games. They play completely different from one another, and they're both great. Now, as for the best Metroid game of all time, that wasn't really a part of the question, but I did notice that several of you all did bring that up in the comments. And okay, Metroid Dread might end up being the best-selling Metroid game of all time, but yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean it will be the best in terms of quality. And well, okay, that might technically be true as, well, Metroid is just an amazing franchise, like I've already said, so, you know, as long as this game turns out to be good, which it definitely looks like, I think everybody's going to leave happy with this game. I mean, you can really go back to pretty much all the Metroid games and still enjoy them all these years later as they aged incredibly well, and best is always going to be a subjective matter, and all these Metroid games are so good, so really, you know, like I said before, you know, this is what makes me so happy about all this hype for Metroid Dread, because we need more games like this. We need more Metroid because these games are just too good to simply ignore. So I love seeing all of this hype for Metroid Dread. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.